They said he would never walk again. But Cosmos had other plans. That single sentence could define the miracle that is Cosmos, once known as Kaplan, a dog whose journey from despair to hope became a living proof of what love, patience, and determination can do. When Cosmos first arrived in Moscow, he wasn't the glowing, calm soul he is today. His body was weak, his movements limited, and his eyes carried a quiet question. Will I ever be whole again? But even in his stillness, there was something magnetic about him. A peace, a warmth, a strength that quietly said, "Don't give up on me." He was described by his rescuer as a miracle dog, not because of where he came from, but because of what he became. At first, Cosmos had to be moved between 2 temporary foster homes while awaiting medical care. Each time, he adapted with gentle resilience, never complaining, never losing that soft sparkle in his eyes. His new caregivers quickly realized there was something truly extraordinary about him. His calmness could quiet any chaos, and his presence made every space feel lighter. But beneath that serenity was a long, uphill road. Veterinarians delivered a painful verdict. Cosmos might never walk again. His hind legs were unresponsive, and the chances of recovery seemed almost non-existent. For many, that would have been the end of hope. But not for Cosmos, and not for the people who believed in him. His new owner, the person who would become his forever family, refused to accept defeat. Together, they began the slow, patient journey of rehabilitation. Gentle massages to stimulate his muscles, hydrotherapy sessions to help him float and move freely in water, and daily exercises that tested both his endurance and his heart. At first, there were no signs of improvement. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. But Cosmos never stopped trying. He would drag himself forward, fall, and then look up with determined eyes that seemed to say, "Let's try again." And then, one day, it happened. A slight twitch, a movement, a lift. Cosmos began to push himself up. For a few seconds, his paws touched the ground, his legs held his weight, and he stood. The room filled with tears and cheers because those few seconds were everything. From that day forward, Cosmos started doing what everyone said was impossible. He began to walk, not perfectly, not for long, but proudly. Every wobbly step was a victory. Every stumble was a lesson. Every attempt was a declaration of life.
Паразит.
Isn't it beautiful how animals without words can teach us what it truly means to persevere? Cosmos's rehabilitation continued with regular massages, swimming exercises, and guided therapy. Yet, in his heart, Cosmos always wanted more, to run freely, to feel the earth beneath his paws again. He hated the wheelchair that supported him during outdoor walks. Whenever someone tried to attach it, he'd give that look, a mix of frustration and stubborn pride, as if to say, "No, let me try on my own." Inside the house, smooth floors made walking tricky, so his family stayed close, always ready to catch him when he slipped. But Cosmos didn't mind. Falling only meant another chance to stand again. His spirit never wavered. Even though he still needed manual bladder care several times a day, and even though his appetite had grown quite selective, earning him the affectionate nickname, the Gourmet Gentleman, Cosmos's life was full of love, full of small victories, full of quiet joy. He wasn't just a dog learning to walk again, he was a reminder, a living, breathing lesson in resilience. At home, Cosmos has his favorite spot, a soft sofa facing the window. He spends hours there, calmly watching the world go by, tail gently wagging whenever his human passes by. He radiates peace, as if saying, "We made it." But his favorite moments are the ones spent outside, when he can stretch his legs and play with his dog friend. Those moments, though brief, are precious. They are proof that effort pays off, that love heals, that miracles are real. Every day, Cosmos practices walking, some days with more strength, some with more wobble, but always with hope. And every time he takes a few steps without the wheelchair, his owner's heart swells with pride. They both know the truth. It doesn't matter how long it takes. What matters is that he keeps trying. Cosmos's journey is far from over. His body may still have limits, but his spirit has none.
Ой, ой, что за морда?
Софи, повернись. Не торопись, ты торопишься, поэтому...
His loyalty, his calm nature, and his radiant energy bring comfort to everyone who meets him. He doesn't just live, he teaches us how to live. Because Cosmos reminds us that life is not about what we've lost, but about what we can still give. It's not about perfection, it's about persistence. He may still rely on his wheelchair sometimes, and he may not run as fast as before, but he has already achieved something far greater. He has learned to rise, to walk, and to inspire. In a world that often gives up too easily, Cosmos stands as a quiet miracle. A dog who refused to stop believing. And maybe, just maybe, that's the message we all need today. If Cosmos' story touched your heart, share it. Let others see what love and hope can do. Because somewhere out there, another animal is waiting for a miracle. And maybe you could be theirs.
Космос, пойдем. Кос. Вот наш космос, которого давно не видели. Вот пришлось мальчика вывести в плохую погоду, в дождик, спинальника и заодно глупой подписчицы, которая плохо смотрит истории или невнимательно смотрит истории и утверждает, что космос бесследно исчез. Вот он, жив-здоров. 5-й год уже живет с мамой. Иди сюда, на. Молодец, умничка. Меня ждешь? Ты моя умничка, Да, надо вставать. Ты не выспался, что ли, Кос?